This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, good day, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of the new podcast. Joined today by Spencer in New York. He's an old school grower. He's got some really nice genetics that he's here to talk about. He's very like-minded as myself in our approach to our thoughts on the industry and figures in it. And he's one of the good guys, and he's going to be growing some of my genetics in the not too distant future. And so, yeah, we're going to go on with part 2 of this podcast, which, as I say, is really just going to be a continuation of the previous podcasts that I've done, but with obviously focused just on my genetics and on my progression with what I'm doing, because 2023 hopefully should be a big year. Got quite a lot planned, and I pretty much took last year off. I was pretty lazy, but 2023 I really do need to get back growing and breeding, and I intend to be going to South Africa in January and popping 5,000 seeds to do a hunt to begin with. But anyway, that's awesome. That's what we're here to talk about in the future. But now we've got Spencer, so welcome to the show, Spencer. Thanks for coming on. And
No
take the floor,
problem.
brother. Tell us about your Skunk OG that you had sequenced by Phylos.
Well, you know, I have been growing since I've been 14 years old, and my earliest memories going in the woods with my uncle and cutting his down, that must have been in like the 70s or something, and 74. But anyway, so like I had a lot of interest in it, and you know, I basically came up with some really good things that the older guys used to grow around here, the Afghanis, and you know, things that really grew really well in New York, you know. So basically, everybody knew here that I never really kind of hid the fact that I grew. I really didn't, because I grow medicine, and we can get into that. But, you know, a friend of mine came to me, and this was in 1991, came to me frantic. And, you know, long story short, he had a friend in Queens, and he got in trouble 3 times, you know, growing the skunks, you know, and the feds raided him, you know, and told him that if he did it again, they're going to take his family. So he took that pretty serious, you know. So basically they left some branches, and my friend brought him up here upstate. This was down in Queens, New York, where this took place, the raid. And they left branches, and he came to me, and he gave me some branches in a bag. And, you know, I got him the root, and this is probably just about, you know, whatever, almost 30 years ago. And I always thought that I had sour diesel, NYC diesel. So I pissed a lot of people off saying that their sour diesel was junk. And they really did have sour diesel, and what I had was the Skunk OG. And basically we sent it into Phylos, and had a party here to release it, because I thought for sure it was going to be sour diesel or something like that. And it came back Skunk OG, and I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud. I don't feel like, you know, it's not my work, so I'm not going to take credit for it. But like, if it wasn't for me being in preservation and holding it down for so long, it wouldn't be here, you know. And so basically, you know, I've been,
Played your part, bro. Anybody who keeps anything going on its own for 30 years has fucking done something special, you know?
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Oh, and so like, so basically when that came back, you know, that it was Skunk OG, you know, I had already been, and we can get into this on another talk, but like I brought it to the longest running, you know, cannabis event in New York State, in the United States actually, uh, and it's the New York Freedom Harvest Fest. Started in early, yeah, 25 years ago they started it. Yeah, and you know, I went to it and I brought my weed there and never put it in the cup. And all the elders told me to, and I did, you know, but uh, so I took first place, you know, in 2019 with it.
Damn.
And basically, I did it in here, in my backyard, you know, basically with the indigenous soil that New York offers, you know, basically a living soil, and, you know, sun grown craft cannabis, and brought it there 2019. And I went against everybody from California and, you know, surrounding states that were somewhat legal, and it was indoor. So I took first place with my outdoor, you know, and they were
Man.
like freaked out. And the guy that I took out of from first, he was from Maine, and, you know, he was the second 2 year runner. He won 2 years in a row. You
Well,
know,
what did he
Yeah.
win with before?
what's that?
What did he win with in the previous 2 years?
Uh, Purple Kush or something like that. You know, it was something they had in Maine. You know, and it just like I I don't know what it is with this plant. I'm in the process of, you know, going to get it tested and see what the profiles are as far as the terpenes and the cannabinoids, and if they're, you know, basically, why is it so medicinal? You know, I could get off track right now, but basically, I make medicine and I treat people that have illnesses, and that could be cancer, mass inflammation, you know, autoimmune diseases and kidney failure. And I've helped a lot of people over the years with it.
Well, if you've had it 30 years, that takes it like back to like 1990, and it came to you as a finished thing. So it existed prior to 1990. So it's definitely at least from the 80s, isn't it?
Yo, what, the Skunk OG?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. So like, if you, let's touch on that. So the guy Mike, you know, and I kind of want to find him. You know, I was in doing some research on Queens. That's where it came from. But basically, he went to the first or second Cannabis Cup, okay, to go get genetics that he was looking for. And I'm pretty sure, you know, from what I'm gathering, he had the OG cut, a good OG cut. You know, he went and searched. You know, I don't know if he got seeds. I doubt it. I think he ended up with a really good OG clone, you know, from early, and then went, from what I'm gathering, went to Amsterdam for the first or second high times, and you know, met with probably, you know, who, and Sammy or one of those guys, Neville. I really don't know at that point, and got the RoadKill Skunk and brought that back, and he snuck 2 seeds under his you know, testicles with duct tape. Or, I mean, with you know, to get them across, because back then you get caught with 2 seeds, you're done. You know,
Oh yeah.
you know, and so he did, and he brought it back, and I'm pretty sure he bred that skunk into that OG, and it is just, it's so acrid. I think I'm saying it right. Acrid, right?
Accurate, yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect accurate.
it's so, it's like, you know, when I had the guys over at Philos test it, they're like, we're really not sure because you're saying it smells like skunk, but you know, you have a 1/3 skunk and you're 2/3 OG, and but you lean towards indica, and all the other ones are sativa dominant. So I'm not sure what this is going to, in the end, when it starts to, I can get it tested and really get going with it. We're going to find out that this is probably maybe 10 plants like this in the world. We're figuring, you know, that are that have effects like this on people. You know, I mean, I've had people, and I get people off opiates, you know, bit hard drugs here that they're feeding people here in the States. And,
Yeah.
you know, I got this one girl here and got her off all her stuff, and all of a sudden her clothes are falling off of her. And she's like, what are you, poisoning me with this oil? I'm like, no. I'm like, so we go to the doctor. Come to find out, I start doing research. You know, she has autoimmune. So, like, you know, she was like, you know, just, in, you know, inflammation, her whole joint. So she was like bigger, you know, her clothes and
Mhm.
everything. So when I found out that, you know, that this potentially has the really serious inflammatory, anti-inflammatory. I mean, it just knocks it right out. It means she, like, her clothes were falling off her in 2 days, and and probably till date, you know, I haven't seen her in 3 or 4 years, but it changed her life. You know, it definitely changed her life. And
Yeah.
it's amazing, you know. And with the RSO that I make, you know, my ex, you know, I gave her, uh, you know, quite a few years without the chemo. We opted not to do the chemo, and all my friends. I make a salve right here. I'll show you it right here. You see, this is my RSO salve that I put my
Nice.
RSO in, and like I mean, like, I ship it to Florida to the 80-year-old people, and my friend got run over by a motorcycle, and he put that all over himself and was eating the oil, and it just basically, you know, it works. It's amazing. It's an amazing, you know.
It is. It's incredibly. It's the old
Yeah, I
school,
mean,
bro. It's
yeah,
30 years old. It's 30 years plus at least old, and that's like same ballpark as a lot of my genetics. And
right.
I just bought recently off some extractors in the UK. Shout out to the Country Club. Check them out on Instagram. They made some strawberry haze skunk rosin. Yeah.
Oh
Uh,
man, awesome. Well, listen, I'd love to get you some seeds, man. I'd share with you for sure. And I got some good stuff this year. I won't talk about it. You know, I'm really, really proud of what we did. You know, with you know, expanding our genetic library. You know, and you know, the whole, you know, I, what we. Oh yeah, no, I'm
So
sorry. Janelle asking me a question. So yeah, I mean, like, I'm kind of all over the place. So you guys can definitely tell me to.
so I have a question. So I know Blue Skies breeds more for the the smell and probably a little more the effect. Would you say you breed more for medicinal quality, or what are the characteristics you look for while you're breeding?
Oh, I for a fact, because, like, well, I could say this. Everything that I have is bred. for the effect. But now that this whole industry is new to me, I cannot wait to have my stuff tested to see what the levels are in it. You know what I mean? So
Now,
we know why, because it's super rare.
now,
You know?
if this came back, like low THC,
Oh,
around 20% or maybe even under 20,
oh
would
yeah,
you
it is.
be?
Oh, I'd be so happy.
Yeah,
Yeah, all the cannabis I go for right now is low THC and high terpene and cannabinoid profiles. I don't want anything I don't want high THC. I don't want that. The kids do. I'm not I'm not recreation, although I'll probably fall into that somehow. But, I'm definitely medical. I make medicine. I have people on the New York State board that know about my product, and I have people in doctors' offices, dentist offices, or orthopedic places, and it works. I don't know what I'm telling you. Like, I know I'm not the only one that has cannabis that can make a salve with RSO, but whatever this plant is, it is super, super medicinal. I mean, like,
Truthfully, I think recreational and medicinal, they are really one and the same. Yes, they have
oh,
different
yes,
purposes, but the
yes.
best recreational is generally excellent medicinally. The only circumstances I can think of recreational being different or not effective medically, perhaps, is if you bred something that was purely, for example, for its flavor. It had very little effects in any way, but its flavor was something absolutely unique and wonderful. And so people use it recreationally just for the nice taste. But generally, the best tasting, heaviest, because that means it's best smelling, which means they're high in certain, terpenes,
Terpenes, yes, of
which are
course,
very medical.
yeah.
Plus, if it's got nice potency as well, then it's going to be medicinal. So generally, I find the best recreational, or certainly not good recreational, is often just the same as medical in that regard. But certainly in applications, I definitely feel the old school genetics, that's where they've got their, that's where they dominate really, is in their medical uses, because they still are.
They
super
bred all the
medical.
medicine out.
Exactly.
All the medicine, all the good stuff is bred out. They all should be ashamed of themselves what they did.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I get it, because like they were looking how pretty it was, and boy, it was pretty. But now I got people, like all my people that I know, they're realizing now that they're only getting high for 20 minutes, and they come here and they smoke stuff that's like probably laying, when I'm trimming, maybe a bud rolled under the couch, and they grab that, and they'll roll that up, and they're high all day.
Yeah.
They're high all day, and the entourage effect that the cannabis has, that I have
What I was going to say about this strawberry haze rosin is that because it's old school genetics, it's my strawberry haze skunk. Somebody made some ice hash rosin from. I'm not joking.
I love it. That's what I'm doing
The
right here with the puff
effects
stuff.
are just
I love it.
so medicinal in that they were like complete body and mind relaxation, and it's just there was something so absent from modern day cannabis that is so present in the old school that is the difference, what makes the difference.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's the skunk smell, for one. Okay. When they started breeding so things didn't smell, that was the problem. Okay. Not saying that they didn't have any like value there, but they went too far. They could have stopped. They just took it too far, and they bred it right out. I can't. And this is the thing. I want to kind of be like careful, because, I mean, I just want to be honest. I don't know everything. I just know what I see and what I've taught myself, and I learned from people, but if people are going to get upset with me because I'm going to call them on that, then so be it. I'm not lying. And I think everybody needs to be educated with this. And that's all I've been doing. is
That's
as
a
you,
post I made recently saying exactly the same thing. It's like,
Yeah, I
I don't
loved
know
it.
what it is. The kids need to like toughen up, you know? It's
Yeah,
like,
well,
it's not hate to tell them that what they're smoking that's been promoted to them is not anywhere near the best that cannabis could be. That's not hate. That's trying to put them on the right path to show them that there's something vastly fucking different and vastly better than, you know, cookies.